Hello my friends, my name is Pablo Azar and you are watching MBTV.
Straight ahead on this edition of CityVision, the results of our community satisfaction survey are in.
A new era of tennis is ushered in at Flamingo Park.
And we're marking the end of an era. At Miami Beach High School, we celebrate 40 years of teacher Doug Burris and rock ensemble. Hello and welcome to CityVision, your source for everything you need to know about Miami Beach. I'm Emily Oz.
And I'm Yvette Diaz. On this edition, we're coming to you from historic Fire Station number 2 on Dade Boulevard.
The fire station was recently renovated to modern standards while keeping its historic facade and charm. Originally designed during the Depression by Florida architect Robert Law Weed, the building underwent a 2-year, $12 million reconstruction. Today, the state-of-the-art facility houses the fire department's administrative headquarters.
It's a wonderful building. It will serve our purposes for the administration.
Across the parking lot, the city's Emergency Operations Center, or EOC, is home base for training that prepares city leaders and staff for hurricane season. Later in the show, we hear from Fire Chief Javier Otero about how the city is prepared to handle any storm event.
What about you? Do you have a plan for you and your loved ones should a hurricane approach?
You can visit our website, miamibeachfl.gov, and click on the Hurricane Guide for a checklist of what you need to prepare for the potential hurricane event. You may recall in April, as widely reported, 7 city employees were arrested by the FBI for alleged corruption. We want you to know the city does not condone this behavior.
The city is cooperating with the FBI's investigation, and other efforts are underway to make sure this won't happen again.
Our desire to eliminate wrongdoing is being addressed by an independent audit of the processes of the Code Compliance Department and other city regulatory agencies. The city has also assigned a Miami Beach police officer to the FBI's Public Corruption Task Force. Other efforts are being considered too. Stay tuned to MBTV for updates as our plan to address this issue evolves.
If you have any information or suspect corruption on any level of city government, you can call and report it to the FBI's anonymous hotline at 305-944-9101.
As a city, we're always looking for ways to improve the lives of our residents. For example, our permitting process has been streamlined to make it easier and faster to get your plans approved and your building project underway.
How are you? You're awesome. You're awesome.
Go ahead and we'll start the process and just make sure you have the deed.
The Miami Beach Building Department's friendly staff is waiting to help you with the permitting process to ensure your building project and plans are safe and in compliance with the Florida Building Code. Changes have been made to several processes here on the second floor of City Hall to improve customer service for our residents, homeowners, and business owners.
This is the heart of our lobby, and the first stop for the customer is going to be the greeter's desk right here.
Now serving ticket F05.
Stephen Scott was named director of the building department last year. He says many of the recent changes will improve the speed with which we turn plans around.
We've implemented 5-day turnaround times for certain types of plan reviews, which is really the first time we've done that. We offer same-day walkthrough service, perhaps more extensively than any other municipality in South Florida.
If the plans are complete, certain types of permits can be issued on the same day. And now, after 1:00 p.m., we offer homeowners walk-through plan reviews.
This is something that specifically benefits homeowners so that they don't have to, first of all, get in line with a lot of very big projects in a very crowded lobby. They can get the special attention that they need.
Are you pulling a permit for the first time? Still a little confused about the process? The building department has your answer. They've created an ombudsman program to help.
that person will essentially help guide you through the process for newcomers to the department.
To schedule an ombudsman appointment or for more info on any part of the permitting process, please call the building department at 305-673-7610.
Hi, how are you? Is someone assisting you?
Keep in mind, electrical, mechanical, and plumbing permits can be issued online under a valid master building permit. For this and all the details in our story, visit miamibeachfl.gov, click on the City Organizations drop-down menu, and choose the building department.
Meanwhile, a long-anticipated renovation project is finally complete in Miami Beach. A beautiful Art Deco building is celebrating a rebirth in South Beach.
1, 2, let's see if this is the real thing, okay? 3.
35 new affordable rental housing units are complete. City leaders gathered to celebrate a ribbon cutting at the Neptune Apartments, 1 block off Lincoln Road. The acquisition of the property in 2009 and its subsequent renovation was made possible through funding from the Neighborhood Stabilization Program from the Federal Housing and Economic Recovery Act of 2008.
We're just so happy to be a partner with the City of Miami Beach. This is a great opportunity. It's a win-win situation.
The Miami Beach Community Development Corporation has already started selecting income-eligible residents from its extensive waiting list. If you'd like more information about the MBCDC, please visit miamibeachcdc.org.
The city recently said goodbye to our longtime city manager, George Gonzalez. Thanks for 12 great years of service to our city. And we recently selected an interim manager while the city searches for a permanent city manager.
Today we have a list of people graduating.
The commission has selected Kathy G. Brooks, the former director of Budget and Performance Improvement, to oversee the administration as interim city manager. The city commission has already begun the quest for a permanent city manager. And now let's hear from city officials and residents about the latest round of our community satisfaction survey. At the City of Miami Beach, your satisfaction is a top priority. To make sure we're doing our best, we asked residents and businesses for some insight through our community satisfaction survey, and the results are in.
Quality of life measures rated very well and more positive than in 2009. Over 3/4 of our residents rated their quality of life and their standard of living as excellent or good, compared to just half in 2009.
Earlier this year, over 1,800 residents and over 900 businesses were surveyed. Input on quality of life, city services, and taxes is critical, as your opinions help allocate resources in the budget process. Despite challenges in the economy, we continue to see positive marks in many areas.
Our cleanliness of our public areas continues to be a priority for our community. In fact, several years ago, we allocated additional resources into cleanliness, and we expanded the areas that we clean on a regular basis.
As a result, our park and landscape maintenance improved, as well as the quality of our beaches.
Well, safety services provided by the fire department rated very high. In fact, both our residents and businesses rated the safety in neighborhoods and commercial areas in both the daytime and nighttime very well, too.
With this fourth set of statistically valid community surveys, the city saw impressive results in education. In fact, the highest scores ever.
In 2008, the City of Miami Beach entered into an agreement with the public schools to improve public education. And as a result, the survey showed that 91% of our residents were either very satisfied or satisfied with public education. The city's initiative to implement the International Baccalaureate program at every school in Miami Beach has come to fruition, and now every school in Miami Beach is an International Baccalaureate authorized school, accessible to every child within our community.
The city's investment in education makes both parents and students very happy.
Well, education is good, very good here, much better than before.
I really like it how it is right now. It's not too hard, not too easy. I think it's really good.
Well, that's great. I mean, I've seen the progress that we've made as a city with tourism and everything, and to see some of that money go into education is great because my boys are being raised here, and so eventually they're going to become adults and they're going to invest everything that they've learned here back into the city.
Other areas that showed improvement: parking availability, emergency response, cultural activities, and the value of information from the city. The survey also found areas we need to continue to work on.
While storm drainage continues to be a concern for our community, we've implemented several initiatives over the past few years to address this issue, which includes drainage improvements, drainage pipe cleaning, including outfall pipes, installing drainage pumps, and drainage wells.
Homelessness is also a concern.
Homeless outreach and placement services continue to be a priority, with the number of homeless over the years decreasing.
Overall, the City of Miami Beach continues to be a better place for residents and businesses. And these latest survey results provide the answers we need to keep us on track and help accomplish our goals. For a closer look at any and all of the survey results, visit our website, miamibeachfl.gov.
In the survey, 82% of residents polled rated our city's park maintenance efforts as excellent or good.
And we continue to strive for excellent marks in this arena. And here's a great example. The city has served up a new tennis facility at Flamingo Park.
Here's Sherry Holbert-Lipner with our planned progress report.
Fun in the sun is one of the reasons people choose to live and play here. Now the Office of Capital Improvement Projects is working on something that gives you another option for staying active in Flamingo Park. This summer, the city broke ground on the highly anticipated Holtz Tennis Center. The firm of Wolfberg, Alvarez & Partners designed the master plan for the entire park, which will be carried out in phases, like this one, over the next several years. The tennis courts are a natural place to start.
Flamingo Park is a very, very dynamic, well-used park, has a variety of uses. Tennis has always been a part of it, an important part of the park, and we should have a first-class tennis center facility.
These pedigreed courts were home to the Junior Orange Bowl Tennis Championship for over 50 years, hosting such notable players as Jimmy Connors, Chris Evert, Andrea Jaeger, and Mary Jo Fernandez. In an effort to bring back such prestige, the new tennis center will feature 17 new clay courts and a new program building.
And we are just so happy that it's happening.
The $5.3 million project is being built by Pirtle Construction. They will install an improved drainage system, a new irrigation system, new landscaping, and lighting. Work is expected to take about a year, but as you can see, we're not going to let a little construction get in the way of your game. Work is phased so that half the courts remain in play, and a pro shop is always available. The city involved the tennis players, other park users, and the Flamingo neighborhood residents throughout the planning and design process.
There were many stakeholder groups that were engaged and concerned and wanted to be involved. And I think that there was a process where the city and the CIP department and the Parks and Recreation engaged the several stakeholders.
The project will be complete next summer and promises to serve up something special for residents and visitors.
We're hoping that the Tennis Center will bring some of the enthusiasm for a really healthy activity and something that brings in tourists that, by the way, spend about 3 times what a normal tourist spends when they come to visit and stays twice as long.
For MBTV, I'm Sherry Holbert-Lipner.
Early next year, the capital improvements will continue in Flamingo Park with a new football field, concession stand, scoreboard, and bleachers.
Turning now to a community event that has turned into a source of pride for so many people. Tens of thousands of people lined up Ocean Drive for the 4th annual Miami Beach Gay Pride Parade. There were 67 entries into the parade this year, but probably the biggest draw was the Grand Marshal, Chas Bono. The 43-year-old transgender son of musical superstars Sonny and Cher looked happy to be part of the cause and happy to be in Miami Beach.
I like it. It's very funny.
Now on to an art event that made an international splash in our city. Welcome to the second annual Sister Cities Artist Showcase. Art speaks many languages. That's the theme of this year's Artist Showcase put on by our Sister Cities International Committee. The second annual showcase brought works of art from artists living in all 11 of our city's sister cities.
I tried to create, to put together all the cartoons, and that represents for me that every person or every object or every situation in life is not plain. It's always full of life, full of feelings, full of emotions.
Our Sister City program started in 1959 with Fujisawa, Japan. And just last year, Basel, Switzerland was named our 11th Sister City. And no local showcase would be complete without its Miami Beach section.
Jimmy Agostino has created some of the Art Deco buildings that are just amazing. So we like to highlight these amazing structures. And there's 3 of them. And of course, this is the Marlin Hotel, which is right on Collins Avenue.
Fun is the name of the game in our next story, and learning is its byproduct.
We celebrate 40 years of Miami Beach High School's alternative music program.
And we bid farewell to its inspiring founder and teacher at the center of it all. Over the last 40 years, the styles have definitely changed. The music has varied, but one thing has remained the same. Rock Ensemble's founder and rock, this man, Doug Burris.
Celebrating 40 years of extraordinary work by an exceptional human being.
Instructor Doug Burris retired from Miami Beach High School this year. On this evening, about 1,000 people came together, including former students who took the stage in song, to celebrate 4 decades of his contributions to the school, and more specifically to highlight the achievements of Rock Ensemble, his alternative music program that has rocked competitions over the years and touched the lives of countless students.
Doug has always been consistent in his vision and commitment. He says, "It's a tough time to grow up, so for every kid that comes through the door, it is the teacher's responsibility to give that kid something he or she can latch onto, so that he or she will not be at risk."
As you can see in this CBS Sunday Morning report, Burris's struggle with multiple sclerosis hasn't stopped him from standing tall in his classroom for 40 years.
It just keeps on inspiring me, because whenever I think, I can't do this, and I just look at Mr. Burris, I consider him a role model.
Good morning.
Doug may be a quadriplegic, but on the larger scale of things, he's an angel.
Our mayor and commission recently honored Burris with a proclamation and a key to the city.
I've had the support of the community, the teachers, the principals, which were amazing, and of course, the most unbelievable students in the world. And so thank you so much for this award and for helping me get through all my fun and the things I've done the last 41 years. Thank you very, very much.
The city sends you a big thank you, Doug Burris. And the show must go on. You can always visit rockensemble.com for more information.
Retirement is a golden time for people who live and play in Miami Beach, and it's also healthy in part because of events like this one.
Y ábreme grande. Vamos a ver cómo, mirando al frente, ábreme grande, a ver cómo está la presión.
Eye checkups, massage, and games. The city and Simply Healthcare sponsored a health fair and bingo night for seniors. Free transportation to the event was provided from select locations throughout the city. Complimentary health screenings and resources were available.
I think it is important to the old people, because we're learning.
This free health fair is another reason these ladies love to live in Miami Beach.
I like the weather, the people, the ocean, the beach, everything.
Our Parks and Recreation Department has an ongoing array of events specifically designed for residents ages 55 and up. From monthly field trips to bingo and dance, there's something for everyone. Call North Shore Park Youth Center for more information. That number is 305-861-3616.
A storm or any other emergency.
After a short break, hear from our fire chief about the ongoing disaster plan for our city should storm season take a nasty turn.
Kids from across Miami Beach took their turn painting with world-renowned artist Wyland.
Did you get your 10,000 steps today? We fill you in on a new club that caters to fitness goals of all levels. Tell us why you like to love Miami Beach.
The entertainment, the food, the people are they're so lively. You can't find it anywhere else. I love Miami Beach.
Our city thrives off tourism. Thousands of hotel rooms are rented out every day in Miami Beach, but some short-term rentals are not legal. Do you know the difference? It's illegal to rent out a single-family home for less than 6 months. When it comes to multifamily units, it depends on the zone they fall into. If you have any questions or suspect an illegal short-term rental in your neighborhood, call our city's planning department. That number is 604-CITY. Again, that's 604-CITY and select our planning department. Welcome back to CityVision. We're joined now by Fire Chief Javier Otero, who's here to talk about how well prepared our city is for any storm event or emergency event at that matter. Thanks for being with us today, Javier.
You're welcome. Very glad to be able to talk to you and our citizens.
Wonderful. Well, let's just start with the Emergency Operations Center. How does that play into everything for our city's preparedness?
The EOC is a very vital part of responding to emergencies. During the year, each department kind of works independently. We have coordination with one another, maybe on a weekly or a monthly basis. Sometimes when things are going, we have a special project or something, there might be daily coordination. But during a storm or any other emergency, coordination between departments has to happen minute by minute. There's a lot of things that are very fluid. Things change very often and very rapidly. So it's important that we're all in the same room, that we all have good communications, and that we're working together to support one another in response.
And when the EOC was built, I understand is completely state-of-the-art.
It's a very modern facility, absolutely. Great communications. Everybody has computers, telephones, backup phones, communications to the county EOC. So certainly it's progressed a lot from what it was 23 years ago when I came on the department.
Now I understand the city recently carried out their annual disaster drill in the EOC. How does that help you guys out? What is that all about?
We do yearly tabletop exercises. A tabletop exercise is an exercise where all of the staff in the EOC comes together and we simulate an emergency, usually a hurricane, although we do other types of emergencies as well. The type of emergency is not really what's important because the coordination and the planning, it's pretty much the same no matter what the emergency. It's important because we need to pass on knowledge. As people retire, we need to make sure that new employees know how the EOC runs, that they meet the people in other departments. Usually when you're doing other coordinations throughout the year, it might be through email or telephone. The EOC is something that is very face-to-face. Although we use computers and everything else, a lot of the coordination is face-to-face. It's right now, I need you to do this in the next 5 minutes. So it's important that people get to know each other and each other's roles and they know how to support one another.
Wonderful. Well, I know I feel a lot safer after talking to you about all of this, and we hope our residents watching do too. Thanks for being with us today, Javier.
Welcome.
And we want to remind everyone, if you are not quite ready for storm season, there's a lot of things you can do to get ready, including watch, plan, and prepare Miami Beach right here on Miami Beach TV. And Javier is our host of that show, so look for it. Thanks for being with us. There's much more ahead here on CityVision.
Officer David Bearden.
After a quick break, Miami Beach pauses to remember the officers killed in the line of duty here and across our fine country.
And we beef up our beaches by moving in tons of sand to combat erosion.
Plus, we take you inside the city's Fire on the 4th celebration.
Red means stop. It's the law. Miami Beach is using new technology to prevent traffic crashes at several of our busiest intersections where cameras are now monitoring vehicles that run red lights. To avoid a fine, don't run a red light and come to a complete stop before turning right on red. For more on the intersection safety program, visit our website, miamibeachfl.gov, and click on Public Safety. Miami Beach stops on red.
Welcome back to CityVision. It's a statistic that makes the dangers of their job all the more real.
Sadly, Florida leads the nation in the number of officers killed last year.
Our city makes it a point to pause and honor all fallen officers each spring.
Officer David Bearden. End of watch, March 19th, 1928.
The annual Police Memorial Service in Miami Beach honors the 7 officers who have died in the line of duty while working to protect Miami Beach.
It is a tribute to these men that gave their lives, that gave their all. This time that we know that assaults and officers killed are on the rise across the country, and that in Florida we lead the nation in officers killed. It brings back and brings home the sacrifices that these men made.
The annual ceremony takes place at the Wall of the Fallen, outside of our city's main police station on Washington Avenue.
It is not how these officers died that made them heroes. It is how they lived.
Protecting one of our favorite natural resources is a huge job too, and involves moving tons of sand onto our beaches to combat the natural process of erosion. Hitting the beach has a whole new meaning on this day.
9.
Community leaders and politicians toured the progress of the first phase of beach renourishment, spearheaded by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
We've done a couple hundred feet of beach here, but eventually be 4,000 feet now.
Called the Miami-Dade County Shore Protection Project, it calls for sand to be added to 3 specific areas of Miami Beach to improve the quality of this important resource. Phase 1, in the area of 63rd Street to 69th, a total of 250,000 cubic yards of sand was pumped here through an offshore dredge.
All this sand for this segment is coming from a borrow area located down here near Virginia Key.
Our city assisted the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to avoid impacts to special events and life in general during our peak tourism season.
We are in direct communication with the city along with the county to communicate with the vendors, the hotels, and all other public officials and the general public as well to let them know the safety issues with the project to ensure we have a safe work environment when we get this project done quickly.
Phase 1 was completed ahead of schedule at the beginning of April. Phase 2 is underway, taking excess sand from our beach around 10th to 18th Streets and moving it north to the highly eroded vicinities of both 29th Street and 44th Street. The Beach Improvement Project will enhance storm protection for billions of dollars of beachfront infrastructure. The project also ensures erosion protection of our greatest natural resource and economic driver. The second phase of the renourishment is slated to be finished at the end of November.
And now a program starting this fall that will put your fitness to the test.
Have you had your 10,000 steps to health today? "10,000 steps. It seems like a lofty fitness goal, but that's what experts prescribe. A new program starting in September through our Parks and Recreation Department makes it easy to fill your fitness prescription, which averages out to 4 to 5 miles per day. 10,000 Steps to Health offers 5 different 5-mile routes throughout our city, taking advantage of the beautiful beach walk and South Point Park, just to name a few. Choose your mode, solo or with the group. You create your fitness goals.
We walked the 5 miles back and forth. We created little stopping points, either at a half mile, 1 mile. You can do what you want. You can walk a mile and come back. You can walk a half mile, or you can do the whole 5 miles.
The program is the brainchild of City Commissioner George Exposito and our creative Parks and Recreation Department. And best of all, the program doesn't cost you or the city a dime.
Everything is already built in. The boardwalk is there, the streets are there. So all we did was incorporate what the city has to offer.
For this and all of our Park and Rec offerings, please visit miamibeachparks.com.
Instead of counting steps, the kids in our next story were focused on each brushstroke of an unforgettable experience with a world-class artist.
Perhaps you've seen his world-class works of art before. Well, these lucky Miami Beach children not only got to meet Wyland,
I'm a little nervous, but I'm really excited too.
They got to create something with him as well.
It's a lot of fun to be painting with Wyland.
Renowned marine life artist Wyland painted Florida's endangered manatees and the landscape, while the children filled in the rest of the mural with their favorite underwater creatures.
A sea turtle. I'm painting a seahorse.
It's so fantastic to give them an experience like this that'll never come again.
As part of the Miami Beach Educational Foundation's Wyland Art Mural Project, 200 4th graders from schools across Miami Beach were able to take part in creating great underwater masterpieces.
And you're also learning, and you're learning how to take care of the ocean, and you're also having fun doing it.
This is the greatest thing you can do, is kind of inspire kids to be youth ambassadors for the planet.
And for Wyland, the inspiration part seems like his full-time job.
Wyland says this is one of the favorite parts of his job. In fact, he has painted with over 1 million school children in 50 states over the last 30 years.
And I'll tell you what, when you inspire these kids, that's the biggest investment that we can make as adults. Because if we inspire and we give our knowledge and inspiration to kids, they can change the world.
And to change the world, you start at home.
Love Miami Beach, that's why I live here, baby. Miami Beach, the best.
The 2 murals painted during this event will be auctioned off to raise money for charities promoting education and conservation.
And that wraps up this edition of CityVision. Thanks so much for watching.
And we leave you now with a look at the city's festive 4th of July celebration.
Fire on the 4th was a day packed with free music and fireworks and endless fun.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Get up, get up, get up. I want to see you. Like a pep machine. Look at here. I need some piano, Jimmy. Give me a little bit of guitar, Jimmy.